welcome to Roll for Turaco.
Welcome to Map Baking with Roll for Turaco. I am making a map and I'm aging it to make it look a little bit more ancient. What map am I aging? The Temple of Turaco Island map. So that's the map of the island that the temple is on. And let me show you what I'm doing. This is a larger version of the map that I printed out. Now this one, it is a little bit more unique. When I printed this out, there was some glitch with either the printer, either the program, and the designs came out. Well, they didn't come out as dark, but they do look a little bit more hand drawn, which they are hand drawn. I drew these. But you can see like little spaces there, and I decided to use the markers to go over it and detail it, and then I also added these little notches to make it look more like a map. So I did this backwards. I'm going to now age it using a little bit of coffee on this pan, and you might see that my baking pan, it's a little bit dingy from all stuff that I've baked on it. And that's fine. I want this because it's going to absorb the textures of that and make the map a little bit more greedy. So let's do that now. My map is on the baking sheet. It's absorbing some of the coffee. Let me move it around a little bit. I might put a little bit too much, but hey, that happens sometimes. Alright, so I'm going to add just a little bit. The coffee is a little light. And I know Bob Robuilder did a video where he used some soy sauce or teriyaki sauce. But I'm just using what I have right now. Okay, I think that should be fine. Now we place our map in the oven. And the oven has been preheating. It's at 425. I'm gonna leave it there just for a few minutes. I did clean up the knob a little bit so it's not so dingy. I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleaning after I'm done. Now while that map is baking, I'm going to do the same thing in this pan with this map. So we're going to fry up a map. Same thing, coffee. A little bit of a light coffee. I'm sticking here in this pan. Let me lower the heat down so I don't burn my fingers. And you can hear it sizzling. Okay, I'm going to take it off. Let's soak a little bit. Might need a little bit more coffee. Let's get that adventurer nice and covered. There's a little tear, which is to be expected. Alright, so I flip it on this side so this can get a little bit more of that coffee soaked up. And that has a tear too, but I think that will add to the effect. And now we're going to check on the larger map. Oh wow, look at that. So I think that's ready to come out. So the map is nice and crispy. So I'm going to let this cool down. See how crisp it is? That's where I have the tape so that didn't get stained. But we're going to put this aside, and I'm going to move the map that I have in the frying pan over here. Right now we're going to move this scroll. This is a scroll, not a map. So we're going to move this to the oven. There we go. Now while the scroll is being finished baking, I'm just going to dip the map. It's already cooled down. I'm just going to dip the edges. And see if I can get a little bit. Yeah. I don't want too much. Just a little bit of these edges soaked. The oven is turned off, at least this part, so I can just leave this to dry a little bit. And I can check on the oven. And here is the scroll. You can see there's a tear there, but again, that adds to the effect. It is a little crispy, but it's also still a little bit wet, so I'm going to let it finish drying and cool off. I'm going to place it here on my on one of my coffee makers. So I'm going to leave that there. And the map, let me see how this works. Maybe a little bit more coffee. Let me see if this has anything left. Nope, it's all dried up. And look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Kind of swish it around. Whoops. Gotta clean that up later. Ooh. Alright, we're going to put it back in the oven. This time, I just want this to heat up and dry it out. I'm not trying to bake it anymore, so I'm only going to leave it for a minute. And turn the oven back on. The map and scroll are ready. They're presented nicely on these corn cob holders. This is the scroll and this is the map. And that's how I make maps and scrolls look authentic. As authentic as I can get it. This has been Frank Salazar with Roll for Turaco, and we'll see you next time.
In a world where dice determine your fate, and the only thing holding you back is your imagination, embark on a journey of adventure, perils, mayhem, and treasure. Unlock the hero within, and don't forget to roll for Turaco. Subscribe.